We're here with Lydia from The Regrets.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So, The Regrets have been putting out music since you were in high school, and your first song came out in 2016. So, you just released your third album, Further Joy, last year. I'd love to talk to you about how your musical style has changed over the years, and I know your older music has leaned more towards punk, and Further Joy leans more towards pop.
Definitely. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like I could not have predicted where it was going to go, and I think that's the fun of it, and that's what's cool about making music and making music with people who are down to evolve and change, and I think that's so important, and that's the thing that keeps me really invested in artists is when I feel like I'm growing with them and changing with them. And yeah, so our first album was very much, showed what I was inspired by at that time, and this shows what I'm inspired by now, or what we're all inspired by now, and the next one will be totally different too, I bet. But I have no idea what it's going to be, which is cool.
So speaking of the next album, what do you have in the works right now?
We've just been writing a lot, and I'm really excited about it, but we're still at that sort of discovery stage where I don't know what it's going to turn into. It's just sort of writing to find what that sound is, and it's way more fun, I feel like, working that way rather than trying to achieve a certain sound, just kind of digging and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone is very excited for new music to come out.
Yeah.
So I know you're quite active on TikTok, even starting a trend with one of your older songs.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say that the rise of TikTok has really affected you, The Regrets, or just the music industry as a whole?
It's just so fascinating. Like, it's the most random shit blows up, and it's so, like, there's something really freeing about that, but there's also something really can be really frustrating in terms of if people are trying to, like, crack a code or trying to make a song. Like, luckily we have a really great team at our label, but I know other friends and other artists and we have, like, a degree that we've had to deal with, but not anything like what I've seen with our friends who they have, this pressure to write a song made for TikTok. And, like, the whole point, though, of things that blow up, it's like, is that it doesn't make any sense, you know? And, like, it's just all kinds of different music, all kinds of different artists. And I think it's really interesting when people try to put a formula to that.
Definitely.
So I think it's cool, but it's just so weird. It's just different. It's weird, but it's cool.
Awesome. So, speaking of TikTok, you posted one today talking about how you're scared of college kids.
Yes.
Because you never attended college yourself.
Uh-huh.
So, if you never become a musician, what other alternative career path would you have wanted to do? If anything.
Yeah. There are so many things that I love to do. I love creative direction. That's something that I'm, like, experimenting with now even. But I think, like, if I wasn't a musician, I probably would have. Honestly, being a lawyer was something when I was younger I thought I would be really good at, and I still think I'd be really good at that. But I think, like, the way that my brain works and gets bored and the pace that it works at is just so scattered, and I feel like it needs to have, like, a creative outlet. So I could maybe see myself being a chef if I had spent more time doing that. Interior designer. There's, like, all these little things. I'm like,
Definitely something still artistic.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that.
Or a lawyer.
Or a lawyer.
Yeah,
total opposite. All right, so what is your process for writing a song if you have one?
It's always different, but a lot of times it consists of just, like, me getting a random idea when I'm thinking. A lot of it is me, like, in the shower or laying in bed at night or whatever, like, in a relaxed state, thinking about writing, thinking about the kind of song I want to write, or being inspired by a song I heard earlier. And then I'll, like, just, like, almost accidentally come up with some melody or something, and then I'll make, like, I have just so many voice memos that are, like, my address is the name, or, like, I never name them. And so or, like, a lyric idea, and then I'll either meet up with a friend in a session or just be sitting and be like, I need to get that idea out and go back to what's on my phone. it's rare that I just then and there like write the whole thing, but so yeah, it's always different. But I'm constantly like making little notes and voice memos when I'm out.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what is one song or artist that you have on repeat right now?
I've been really loving the new Caroline Polachek album.
Good choice.
So good. And also Gorilla's new album. So good.
Also, great choice with
So good.
the insane number of very
Yeah.
good features on that album.
Always.
Insane.
It's
Insane.
stupid, honestly.
So, what would you say is your biggest inspiration right now?
I've been really inspired by The Clash and also by Taylor Swift. So I'm gonna say those two. That's like the current
Love that.
inspo going on.
All right. So I think that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for swinging by the
Thank
Loft.
you. Thank you
Loved
for having me here in the Loft.